Heard that.
Right now at 5, police in Webb City investigate a suspicious device found at a gas station.
Plus, we have a pretty chilly start out there once again across the area, even some frost advisories. Take a look at that forecast, get you out the door coming up.
Plus, gas prices around the 4 states continue to fall. We'll show you which states in our area has the lowest.
The 4 states' most watched news starts now.
Good morning, 4 states, and welcome to the KOAM Morning News. The time now is 5 a.m. I'm Caitlin O'Shaughnessy.
I'm Chris Warner. So the guys in the back are telling us to get ready for the show, and I told them I'm not ready, and then they...
Gotta get ready, Chris.
I tell you, they crack the whip on you like nobody's business, but that's what their job is, because when we get at 5 a.m.
The news doesn't stop for anyone.
It does not wait. You folks at home can't just sit there and stare at a blank screen all morning, right?
That's right. The show must go on.
It must. And they were just very politely but firmly informing me that whether I'm ready for it or not, the show must go on. I'm telling you, the 5 minutes before a show starts is the longest 5 minutes in your life.
Or it could be the shortest.
Yeah, could be. You're just stuck sitting here going, I can't do anything. I can't start a video or listen to music, but I also can't work yet. I've just got to sit here and wait. And then you don't want to wait anymore. But that's all right. Here, look at this. We are now at 5:01 a.m. and it is chilly out there. Our camera 7th in range line doesn't show the chill, like I said before, unless there's snow on the ground. MoDOT camera 20th in range line, looking pretty good. We've got clear skies. However, because of that, we also have frost advisories. So this is where, again, it gets a little complicated. Between our entire viewing area, there are actually 4 National Weather Service offices that cover us. We've got up north Topeka for just these 3 counties. Wichita covers all of this. Tulsa covers northeast Oklahoma and parts of northwest Arkansas. And Springfield covers Bourbon, Crawford, Cherokee counties and the rest of southwest Missouri. That's where it gets a little confusing sometimes because each of these frost advisories from each office have a different expiration time. So northeast Oklahoma and Arkansas, 8 o'clock. Most of southeast Kansas, 9 a.m. And then our 2 northern counties, 10 a.m. Isn't that fun? Do you understand sometimes why it gets a little confusing sometimes down here in the Weather Center when you got all these offices doing all these things? We got 40 in Joplin right now, 37 in Pittsburgh, so that's why we have these frost advisories. A bit chilly, and some patchy fog out there as well. Not a lot, but a little, so be aware of that. We're talking upper 30s when the kids get on the bus. Definitely send them with a coat or a jacket. Southwest breeze 5 to 10, but because that breeze is now out of the south and west, we warm up a bit. Low 60s by this afternoon when the kids get off the bus, but otherwise not bad, sunny skies. Fog, patchy, clears out about 9 o'clock. We're left with otherwise mostly clear skies into the low 50s by late morning, but we are going to trend a little bit warmer today, and we'll take a look at that complete forecast here in just a few more minutes. Caitlin?
Thanks, Chris. Well, police in Webb City have given an all-clear alert after investigating a suspicious device. The device was discovered yesterday morning at the Murphy USA gas station on South Madison. A portion of the parking lot was closed off by police, but other surrounding businesses remained open and were unaffected. Webb City Police requested aid from the bomb squad of the Springfield Fire Department, who determined the device was not a threat. Anyone trying to file electronically with the Kansas court system recently found themselves unable to do so, and for good reason. The Kansas court's e-filing system has been offline since the judicial branch experienced a security incident late last week. The security incident affected several systems used daily by courts statewide, including the e-filing system and attorneys use to file documents in cases. The case management systems district and appellate courts use to process these cases and others. Courts are open and operating, but clerks cannot receive electronic filings or electronic payments. All filings must be on paper or by fax. The Cherokee Nation signs a historic agreement to provide a VA clinic inside the tribe's Veneta Health Center for area veterans. The tribe will provide around 1,300 square feet of leased space for the VA clinic, which is set to open around the new year. The VA clinic will serve both Native veterans and non-Native veterans in the region. The VA clinic will also include a waiting area, exam rooms, work areas, parking, and will work hand in hand with the Veneta Health Center to accomplish lab and x-ray services. The Eastern Oklahoma VA healthcare system serves about 53,000 veterans. And the new VA clinic in Veneta will be one of 5 outpatient clinics operated by the VA. The city of Parsons, Kansas reports a mountain lion sighting over the weekend. The mountain lion was documented on a security video. The location was along the northwest edge of the town near Labette Creek. While this mountain lion is likely no longer in the city, residents should remain alert. If the mountain lion is spotted in town, residents should promptly contact the Parsons Police Department. Since 2007, mountain lions have been confirmed more than 60 times in Kansas. And if you're ever on the go and want to still be able to watch our newscast live, just download the KOAM Plus app. It's available free of charge on the App Store of your choice. Just search for KOAM Plus. Fall can mean increased deer sightings in the 4 states, and that can mean an increase in deer collisions. Insurance experts say claims for collisions with deer rise during the fall, which is mating season. They also say there are simple ways to reduce your chances of deer collision, such as slowing down, being aware and alert, and don't rely on deer whistles and brakes. Don't swerve. If you do hit an animal, move your car safely off the road and call the police or animal control. Damage from animal collisions is usually covered by auto insurance policies.
You could call 911 too. You could call 911. They would hook you up with a conservation agent. So, you know, if a deer is immobilized on the road where it's causing a hazard to oncoming traffic or other traffic, you know, you could call 911. But in most instances, the deer will go ahead and make it off the road. You don't need to worry about the deer. What you need to worry about is, are you all right and your vehicle's all right? And you know, those are your 2 main worries.
Oklahoma leads the 4 states with the highest average chance of hitting a deer, followed by Kansas, Missouri, then Arkansas. And good news for drivers in the 4 states. Gas prices look to be on their way down. The national average now sits at $3.60, a full 20 cents more than the highest 4-state average, which is Kansas at $3.41. Then Oklahoma at $3.26 and Arkansas with the lowest at $3.18. Gas prices may be even lower in some area counties. Crawford sits at $3.38, Ottawa County at $3.09, and Jasper County at $3 per gallon. And that's a look at this morning's top stories and weather in our first 7 minutes. Coming up on the KOAM Morning News, the Missouri Southern Lions are coming off a tough loss last week. We'll see how they are preparing for next week. Plus, Canadian auto workers agreed to a new labor contract with General Motors. Warming up this week, we'll have what to expect today with Chris Warner in the Skywatch Weather Center. You're watching the KOAM Morning News. We'll be right back.
Well, the Missouri Southern Lions are coming off a tough home loss to their rivals Pittsburgh State. Lions will now hit the road versus a winless Lincoln team, but that's not stopping Southern from not taking their opponent seriously.
The difference of preparing for a Pittsburgh or preparing for a Lincoln really just it lies on us, you know, our attitude, our demeanor, and we got to make sure they're the same, you know, because you guys know how momentum is. You guys know how teams are. If you let a team hang around, if you mess around and, oh, we're just going to go out, you know, you'll mess around and get embarrassed. And so we got to make sure that we're dialed in and got a good game plan for them.
It's always different going on away games. You have things you don't plan for sometimes, but I think it's going to be nice to get away from Joplin for a little bit, go see a new field. We haven't been there in 2 years, and I think we're going to try to execute the best we can.
Let's take a look at the latest AFCA coaches poll. If you missed it, the #1 overall ranked team in the country, Ferris State, who Pitt State fans are far familiar with, lost to Grand Valley State on Saturday, which means we have a new top-ranked team in the country. #1 is the Colorado School of Mines. Pittsburgh State moves up to #2. Other teams in the MIAA include Central Missouri at 16 and Emporia State at 24. Well, postseason high school softball rolls on in Southwest Missouri. Still have a handful of teams in our local area that are alive to win a district championship last night. Neosho versus Ray Peck in the Class 5 District 7 title game. Winner will move on to the state quarterfinals on Saturday. This game was pitcher's duel in the first 3 innings. Kelsey Donaldson in the circle was tough to bring down. 17 strikeouts last night. Sophomore lefty wasn't making it easy. On the other side, Carly Kinnaird for Neosho was right there with her. Both pitchers dueling it out all night long. Kinnaird gets out of the second inning with a strikeout. And in the third, Wildcats get a great defensive play by Becklin Garrett. Diving stop to throw to first base is in time. That's a big confidence boost right there. Bottom of the fourth now, still scoreless. Hayden Kurtz singles up the middle. Throw it home, not in time, but Autumn Kennards throws the runner out at third. Go to the top of the seventh. Neosho trails 5-0. Got to get on base here. Kelsey Donaldson with the pitch. She shuts the door and shuts out Neosho. Ray Peck beats Neosho 5-0 to end the Wildcats season. Elsewhere last night, the Class 4 District 7 softball title game between Nevada and Webb City. Second inning, scoreless game. Addie Brown at the plate, and she crushes it. Goodbye home run. 2-run jack. Lady Cards lead it 2-0. Go to the top of the third now. Dawson Decker hits it to left field. Tigers can't field it. That lets Kylie Sargent score, and right behind her is Alex Monterino. 4-0 Webb City. So we go to the sixth. Here come the Tigers. Addie Burns pitches it, but it's a wild pitch. That helps Kanaya Johnson run it in to give Nevada its third score of the inning. Tigers looking to tie. Hope Harding gives this a ride to deep right field. It stays in the park. Kalia Johnson scores from third base. We're now tied and go to extra innings. So bottom of the ninth, Tigers at bat. Wild pitch with a runner on third, and that lets Kara Phillips score. That's the ball game. Tigers win in dramatic fashion 6-5, and they're your Class 4 District 7 champs. Nevada plays Kearney this Saturday to keep their playoff run alive.
It was going to be a tough game. You're in a district championship game. You know you're going to play a quality opponent. We played Webb City twice this year. Both were close games, and so we knew it was going to require our best effort. And as we saw as the game unfolded, it was back and forth. Both teams played good softball, and it came down to the end. So.
Other softball scores last night. Cassville Wildcats are district champions as they beat the Doniphan Donettes 7-6 on a walk-off RBI by Nevaeh Johnson. This is Cassville's first district softball title in school history. They will play the winner of the game between Fatima and Blair Oaks this Saturday. And the votes are in. You, the audience, have selected the Frontenac Raiders for our performance of the week. Following our press box show, Frontenac beat an undefeated Parsons team 10-8. Thanks to a game-winning field goal by Frontenac's kicker Aiden Hill. Raiders improved to 6-1 on the season, and they will face the Galena Bulldogs on the road this Friday night. Last note here, Division 1 AP Top 25 poll came out yesterday for men's college basketball. Here's a glance at the top 4 teams. The Kansas Jayhawks are number 1 in the country to begin the season. Only other Big 12 team in the top 10 is the University of Houston, one of those Big 12 newcomers. They are ranked at number 7. Still to come, why Family Dollar is recalling a large number of over-the-counter drugs and medical products. Plus, take another look at that forecast, talk about when we're going to start to warm up when the KOAM Morning News returns. Welcome back to the KOAM Morning News, 5:18 now on this Tuesday morning here in the 4 states, and it's a chilly one. Even got some frost advisories out there. We'll take a look at that in a moment. First, MoDOT camera, 20th and Range Line. We are looking good. We got clear skies. Same from the KDOT camera, 69 East 520th Avenue, just south of Pittsburgh. And here's a look at those frost advisories. So again, 4 different National Weather Service offices cover our viewing area. That's why we have all these different expiration times. Our 2 northern counties, these run through 10 a.m. Most of southeast Kansas, they run through 9. And northeastern Oklahoma into northwest Arkansas, they run until 8. So just be aware of that fact out there if you had any outdoor plants. They may not be too happy this morning. We're sitting at 40 in Joplin right now. The south breeze at 3, and that's the one nice thing is the winds are shifting out of the south-southwest, which will bring some warmer temperatures in here. Look at this, though. 32 in the Neodesha, 33 in Parsons, 35 Yates Center, 34 Iola, 39 Fort Scott, Nevada, 37 Pittsburgh, Miami, 36 Chatopa, 39s in Carthage, Monette, Neosho, Anderson. Very cold temperatures, well below normal out there. So I know some of you folks do like the cold, but this is well below where we should be for this time of year. We still have some patchy fog possible through about 9 a.m. It'll be fairly isolated, but do watch out for some patchy fog. Otherwise, we're going to be mostly clear and into the low 50s by late morning. We head into the afternoon, sunny skies, maybe a cloud here or there, but warming up. And we're looking to make mid-upper 70s out there, which of course means if you're along and west of US 75, add about 5 degrees and you'll get your rough high temperature. So low 70s out to the west. Clear skies continue through the evening, maybe a few more clouds overnight, dropping back into the upper 40s and low 50s. So a bit more mild than where we have been the last several days. And that will be the trend. We're still going to have chilly overnights, but nice days. We'll have increasing clouds through our Wednesday and eventually become mostly cloudy ahead of some possible thunderstorm chances, my apologies, shower chances. Late Wednesday evening will be possible. It's going to be very isolated. Most of us will not receive any rain, but there's at least a stray shower chance out there. Temperatures hanging on pretty nicely in the low 70s, eventually upper 70s. And as we head into next week, and we go well above average again. We start that ride, go low 80s, and we'll hang out mid-upper 70s next week. But look at all these shower and thunderstorm chances as we head into next week as well. Some more much-needed rainfall possibilities out there. So from now through about, Saturday, still some chilly overnights, not bad during the day. We'll start to get a bit above average as we head into next week, and that also means our overnight lows are going to warm back up again, hanging out right around the mid-60s. That's a quick check of your forecast. We'll be back with Health Watch right after this.
Topping Health Watch this morning, the CDC says roughly 240,000 women in the U.S. are diagnosed with breast cancer every year. And during Breast Cancer Awareness Month, advocates and health experts say it's critical patients, survivors, and their caretakers get the support that they need. Ted Lindner takes a look at how you can lend a helping hand.
One foot in front of the other. Thousands of people across the country continue marching to support breast cancer patients and survivors fighting for a cure.
The love, support, the energy, it's just amazing.
October marks Breast Cancer Awareness Month. The disease is the second most common cancer among women in the U.S., behind some kinds of skin cancer, according to the CDC. It's also the most expensive cancer to fight, making up 14% of all cancer treatment costs.
Thousands of breast cancer patients are forced to choose between paying their mortgage and paying for medication.
But while the American Cancer Society finds the rate of breast cancer deaths has been declining for more than 30 years, medical experts say the statistics don't stop many survivors from being overwhelmed with fear their cancer will return.
Fear of cancer recurrence is one of the most prevalent, persistent, and disruptive sources of distress for cancer survivors.
Shelley Johns of Indiana University School of Medicine says those worries are more severe for younger survivors.
Approximately 50% of breast cancer survivors have moderate to severe levels of fear of recurrence that can really disrupt their social, cognitive, emotional, and physical functioning.
John says it's important to know that this fear is normal and recommends breast cancer survivors talk to their doctors about their risk of recurrence and ways they can reduce it. In moments where fear can impact happiness, John says survivors should also speak to a trusted therapist and engage in hobbies to help them refocus their mind. Ted Lindner, Fox News.
The price of the life-saving COVID-19 medication Paxlovid is likely to rise next year. This as the United States continues to transition out of the emergency phase of the pandemic. That has some doctors concerned that it will become less accessible. The antiviral drug will move from being available free to everyone through government purchases to a more traditional commercial marketplace for most patients at the end of this year. That's according to the Department of Health and Human Services and drug maker Pfizer. The new price, the cost before insurance, hasn't been set but is expected to be higher than $530 per course price paid by the government. People who are on Medicare or Medicaid or who are uninsured will still be available to get Paxlovid for free through 2024 via a patient assistance program. But those with commercial insurance are likely to face a copay. Family Dollar is recalling a large number of over-the-counter drugs and medical products that were sold in stores in nearly half of the country. The company says it is recalling the products because they were stored outside of label temperature requirements. The products were then shipped to 23 states and sold between June 1st and October 4th. The recalled products include over-the-counter cold medicine, vitamins, toothpaste, and children's medicine. Family Dollar says that it has not received any consumer complaints or reports of illness, and the recall being done out of the abundance of caution. Customers can return the recalled products to the store without a receipt. For more information about the specific states and products affected by the recall, go to the FDA.gov. And as the situation in Israel and Gaza continues to unfold, many people far from the conflict are exposed to the countless images of war, including children. The American Psychological Association has said that consuming violent and traumatic news can potentially, in and of itself, negatively affect mental health. Gloria Pasmino explains what parents and schools can do to protect their children.
While the images coming out of Israel in recent days have shocked the world, they are especially alarming for children who may hear and wonder why other children are among the affected and if they're safe.
Images tend to stick in your mind in a very intrusive way.
Children look to adults for a sense of safety and security, even more so in times of crisis.
We all need to be using self-care and coping skills to take care of ourselves and to feel our feelings, to process our feelings.
Experts say you should account for a child's age when speaking to them about the war. Focus on those who are helping and keep checking in.
Start a conversation, but then you're going to follow their lead. So ask them what they know or what they've heard.
Conversations aren't just happening at home. The Los Angeles Unified School District sent letters to employees and families, including tips on how to protect children by helping them understand media coverage and limiting their exposure. And in New York City, the Department of Education is providing resources to schools to facilitate discussions about the conflict and reinforcing a zero-tolerance policy against bias and discrimination. In New York, I'm Gloria Pasmino reporting.
That's a look at some of today's top health stories. You're watching the KOAM Morning News.
And we've got a chilly start out there with some frost advisories in place. We'll take another look at that forecast when the KOAM Morning News returns.
Right now at 5:30, Carthage School District offers a new package to entice bus drivers, but do the pros outweigh the cons?
We got a bit of a frosty start across the area this morning. Some frost advisories in place and definitely on the cold side. Take a look at that forecast, get you out the door coming up.
Plus, trucks of all shapes and sizes rolled into the Carthage Square as part of the Maple Leaf Festival.
The 4 states' most watched news starts now.
Good morning, 4 states, and welcome to the KOAM Morning News. The time now is 5:32 a.m. I'm Caitlin O'Shaughnessy.
I'm Chris Warner. So it's cold outside.
That it is.
I don't want it to be cold outside, but some of you folks at home, you don't mind it being cold outside.
But isn't it going to warm up, Chris?
It will eventually warm back
right.
up. In fact, today it's going to be a little bit warmer than where we were yesterday, even though excuse me, goodness, we are, see, the cold's already getting to me. We are a little colder now than we were yesterday morning. Quick look outside, MoDOT camera, 20th and Range Line. Traffic's moving right along and things are looking pretty good, but it is frosty. And we do have frost advisories. As we've explained, I'll keep it brief for those that may have missed it. There are 4 different National Weather Service offices that cover our immediate viewing area, and that's why we have multiple expiration times for these frost advisories. 2 northern counties, they run until 10 a.m. The bulk of southeast Kansas that's under these advisories run until 9, and then northeastern Oklahoma and Benton County and northwest Arkansas run until 8. So just be aware that we do have those frost advisories in place, and your plants may not like it out there very much. In fact, it's so odd too. You know, along and west of the US 75 corridor typically warms up more than the rest of us do. But right now, they're also one of the areas that's the coldest out there. We're sitting at 40 in Joplin, 37 in Pittsburgh. Kids getting on the bus. We do have some patchy fog out there. Nothing too widespread, nothing too dense, but do be aware of that this morning. And look at this. We're talking upper 30s when the kids get on the bus. It's cold. It's way too cold. Southwest breeze, though, 5 to 10. The southwest breeze means it's going to usher in some warmer air. We're going to go low to mid 60s by this afternoon. Sunny skies out there with that southwest breeze continuing. Patchy fog could hold on through about 9 a.m. and then we'll otherwise have mostly clear skies and make it into the low 50s as we head into the late morning hours ahead of what's going to be a relatively nice, pleasant, beautiful fall-like day. We'll talk more about that in your complete forecast here in just a few more minutes. Caitlin?
Thanks, Chris. Well, the Carthage School District held a Board of Education meeting last night at the Columbian Elementary School. The school district has been working on new benefits and salary packages for bus transportation. The goals of the new packages would be to increase trip pay, offer medical benefits and retirement benefits with hopes to provide a more fiscally stable financial plan. But this change would also increase the hours of the drivers, which is causing a stir among bus drivers in the school district.
On the transportation side, we're going to be talking about new salary schedules, one that possibly offers benefits. We want to get that, really there's two phases of that. One would be for our brand new recruits that we'd bring into the program. The other side is trying to figure out how can we adjust our current salary schedule to accommodate our current drivers, the salary schedule we're on, and what a future salary schedule might look like that includes benefits.
The new rules are drastically going to affect every bus driver. We're all going to take a pay cut. It's easy math. You don't have to go to school for that math.
The school board will review the item and vote at the next school board meeting. A unique volunteer opportunity that both honors the past and the future. Caretaker Jim Beeler says he doesn't want the history to become forgotten history. Preservation is exactly why Peace Church Cemetery is inviting the community to take a tour and listen to the stories behind the headstones.
We hate to see that history go by the wayside. The same way with this cemetery. It has a lot of history as the beginnings before Joplin was ever here. And when you're looking at the 1840s, Joplin didn't come in until 1873.
The Peace Church Cemetery historic tours will be held on Saturday at 10 a.m. and 2 p.m. And big rigs filled Carthage Square yesterday. It's all part of the Maple Leaf Festival, and folks had the chance to get up close to the trucks and equipment vehicles and climb inside. Officials say it's a way for the community to learn more about these trucks, which are vital to our economy.
You know, we see these vehicles, whether they're putting up power lines or fixing poles, and kids are curious. So this is a way for kids and families to talk to those individuals that provide those services for us to learn about what they do, try on the fireman's boots, and just have a really good time, and really maybe that's their new profession, that they want to be that fireman.
The Maple Leaf Festival will run through Saturday with events including a carnival, parade, and tractor show. Students in Pittsburgh yesterday got out of the classroom. Parent-teacher conferences canceled classes, so the Parks and Rec Department hosted its Camp Now and Then. It's a chance for kids to play games, create CAFs, and make new friends.
We're licensed by the Kansas Department of Health and Environment, so we do a lot of activities with them they're educational. They can learn while they're having a good time. You know, during the summer we do field trips. They go to the pool 2 times a week, so it's a program where you know, they can learn and have a good time.
The camp is open for the community anytime the school district is not having classes. It's hosted at the Lincoln Center at Lincoln Park. And that's a look at our top news stories coming up this half hour on the KOAM Morning News. Why oil prices rose Monday amid re-escalating tensions in the Middle East. Plus, authorities in Belgium have raised the terror alert to its highest level after an attack in Brussels. We'll have the latest. You're watching the KOAM Morning News. Topping World Watch, Canadian auto workers agreed to a new labor contract with General Motors, bringing a brief strike to an end. The deal was struck after 80% of union members voted in favor of the plan, which includes base wage hikes as well as improved pensions. The strike, which started Monday morning, lasted through 13 hours before a tentative agreement was reached Tuesday afternoon. The standoff threatened to overturn operations at GM's plants in the U.S. that are pendent on transmissions and engines from Canadian facilities. Meanwhile, the United Auto Workers strike in the U.S. is still ongoing. UAW President Shawn Fain says the union is prepared to expand its current strike if automakers don't come up. Oil prices rose on Monday amid escalating tensions in the Middle East. International benchmark Brent crude future rose as high as $91.20 a barrel in Asian hours on Monday. That is up slightly from Friday's settlement price of $90.89. The U.S. benchmark West Texas Intermediate briefly rose to $87.98. That is compared to Friday's closing price of $87.68. Some analysts expect oil prices to hit $100 a barrel due to the growing risk of regional escalation. And authorities in Belgium have raised the terror alert to its highest level after an attack in Brussels. The action follows the fatal shooting of 2 Swedish nationals in Belgium's capital city on Monday. The terror alert for the rest of the country has been raised to its second highest level. Belgium's Prime Minister Alexander De Croo has suggested the killing was linked to terrorism. The assailant was not immediately apprehended. A man in a video posted to social media claimed he was the shooter and that he was from the Islamic State. The shooting comes in a time of heightened vigilance because of the Israel-Hamas war. President Joe Biden will visit Israel this week as the country is in a war against the militant group Hamas, which Israeli authorities say killed 1,400 people during an attack nearly 2 weeks ago. This presidential trip comes as the House Foreign Affairs Committee is drafting legislation to authorize U.S. militant force, quote, in the event it's necessary. John Lorink reports.
As the war between Israel and Hamas escalates, President Joe Biden will meet with Israeli officials, including Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu, Wednesday, according to Secretary of State Antony Blinken.
The United States and Israel have agreed to develop a plan that will enable humanitarian aid from donor nations and multilateral organizations to reach civilians in Gaza, and them alone, including the possibility of creating areas to help keep civilians out of harm's way.
Blinken adds that Biden will, quote, reaffirm the United States' solidarity with Israel. That's a stance agreed upon by the Senate's majority and minority leaders.
I will be working with the administration on putting together an emergency supplemental that will give Israel the tools it needs to defend itself.
The surest way to stop violence against Israelis and oppression of Palestinians is to wipe terrorists like Hamas from the face of the earth.
The 26th Marine Expeditionary Unit is headed to the waters off the coast of Israel, and the Pentagon is preparing U.S. troops for a potential deployment to the country for medical and logistical support. But the Biden White House is still looking for a diplomatic solution.
The president still believes, even for all this conflict, he still believes in the promise of a two-state solution, that the Palestinians deserve their own state, a place where they can call home.
I'm John Lawrence reporting.
The tensions between the Israelis and the Palestinians has gone on for decades and has claimed thousands of lives from both sides. U.S. National Security Advisor Jake Sullivan says there's a risk this war could result in a much wider conflict for the region. That's a look at some of your biggest headlines from around the world. We'll be right back.
Welcome back to the KOAM Morning News, 546 now on this Tuesday morning across the area and taking a live look outside from the MoDOT camera, 20th and Range Line. One poor lone guy waiting on that red light. Buddy, I've been there. It's no fun. It's pretty lonely at this time of the morning when it's just you and no one else around, and you begin to question your sanity. I'm like, is the light really red for everyone, or is it just me? It's hard to tell sometimes. KDOT camera 69 East 520th Avenue, just south of Pittsburgh, also looking pretty good. We've got clear skies out there, but because of that, we got pretty chilly. In fact, we are downright cold this morning, and we do have frost advisories. So quick recap, 4 different National Weather Service offices cover our viewing area. Therefore, we have 3 different expiration times for these frost advisories. Our 2 northern counties, they run until 10. The bulk of the ones in southeast Kansas through 9, and then northeast Oklahoma and Benton County in Arkansas, those run until 8 this morning, and I'll show you what I mean by downright cold here in just a moment. Look at our regional temps. 40 in Joplin, south breeze at 3, so that's already chilly enough, but wait till you head a little further out west. This is the part that it just is so wild. As we talk about along and west of US 75, during the day, you guys usually get about 5-6 degrees warmer than the rest of us do. However, you're also 5-6 degrees colder than the rest of us. Look at this. Neodesha at 33, 33 Parsons, 30 48 Center, 36 Independence, Sedan, Chanute, 33 Iola, 39 in Fort Scott, Nevada, Stockton, Lamar, Carthage, 37 Monette, 35 in Miami. So some pretty chilly temperatures out there. In fact, as we mentioned, places like Parsons, Neodesha, Iola, just downright cold this morning. However, there is warm weather on the way starting today. Could see some patchy fog out there through about 9 o'clock. Then we'll start to go mostly clear, low 50s by late morning. We're looking at highs for most of us, mid to upper 60s, and of course out to the west, low 70s. We're looking at mostly sunny skies. There may be a stray cloud or two out there, but for the most part, we're going to be relatively sunny. We'll hold on to those mostly clear skies through the evening. However, we also get to be a bit warmer this evening. Upper 40s, low 50s for our overnight lows, and we might see a few additional clouds here and there, so some partly cloudy skies. Now, clouds are going to increase through our Wednesday. We'll turn mostly cloudy. That does not stop the warm weather. So we go in the low 70s. Stray shower to possible Wednesday evening. Most of us remain dry. And we hold on to dry weather until we get to the next work week. So we've got a great end of this week and a great weekend. Look at these temperatures from the low 70s to the upper 70s to the low 80s. And then by Monday, our shower chances begin. And then we start to see a few more scattered shower and thunderstorm chances for most of next week. And our temperatures staying quite mild, mid-upper 70s as we head into next week, and not much difference between the highs and the lows as they hang out in the mid 60s heading into next week. But the bigger, most important thing here is the fact that we just have more much needed rain chances in our forecast as we head into the next work week. But ahead of that, we also have a great way to wrap up this week. We've got maybe again the stray showers on Wednesday, but otherwise pretty decent conditions and much warmer weather heading into the weekend ahead of that much needed rain. That's a quick check of your forecast. We have more of the KOAM morning news right after this.
A touching moment in Biloxi, Mississippi. A cheerleader with special needs was named homecoming queen from her high school class. Spencer Pullen has a story.
There's nothing like football games under those Friday night lights, but for some seniors, it's the final opportunity to make everlasting memories. There was a lot to celebrate tonight, but for two childhood best friends, it's a night they'll never forget.
Right now, the homecoming court is behind me, and as you can see, they are lined up, ready to take center stage to find out who is going to be this year's homecoming king and queen.
2 by 2, each student accompanied with their guardian walked amongst the packed out crowd, heading to their designated spots, awaiting to see whose name will be called. And then it happened.
And the 2023 Biloxi High homecoming queen is Miss Bailey Edwards.
Bailey Edwards is a senior cheerleader living with special needs and has been best friends with Abra Taylor Jr. since the 3rd grade. He tells us what it means to see his dear friend win.
The Queen Bailey Edwards, we've been knowing each other since 3rd grade. A long time, man.
Anderson on the fumble recovery.
She did her thing, I'll tell you that much. She did her thing.
Bailey Edwards says she was in disbelief when her name was called.
Like, I was freaking out. I didn't know they was going to say my name at all. I heard it, and thank you. I couldn't be any happier. I thought I was never going to get it, but it turns out I did, and it's the best day of my life.
She also thanks her friends and family for all the love and support.
Hearing people, like, going for me is, like, never a dull moment. It's just awesome and it's amazing how my friends are like that. I just love them all. I couldn't be any happier for them.
Now that homecoming has come and gone, the two best friends want to leave their classmates and our viewers with some advice.
Man, make the memories last, man. You only get one life, you only get one chance, man. When it's gone, it's gone. You gotta make it last while you got it, man.
And 2,
just keep it real right from your heart.
What a special moment, and I'm sure she'll remember that for the rest of her life. We'll be right back with more news after this. A pepper grown by a man in South Carolina breaks a world record. The new record holder is called Pepper X. On October 9th, the Guinness Book of World Records declared it is the world's hottest pepper. The heat of peppers is measured in what's known as Scoville. Heat scone units and Pepper X is 1 million units hotter than pepper spray, commonly used by police. Curry also grew the Carolina Reaper, the pepper that previously held the record as the hottest in the world. And carb lovers rejoice. October is National Pasta Month all month long, and today marks National Pasta Day. Pasta is a traditional noodle in Italian cuisine. Did you know besides spaghetti, macaroni, and penne, there are more than 300 kinds of pasta? Here in the United States, pasta is a favorite food, especially among kids. It's also very versatile. When cooked, pasta can be served hot or cold, and it can be a main dish, a side dish, or even a dessert. Celebrate pasta today by making a lasagna for dinner, ordering a pasta deal on Grubhub for delivery, or going to an Italian restaurant with family or friends.
I enjoy celebrating pasta, and the wife makes some amazing spaghetti. I won't tell you everything she puts in there, but it's amazing spaghetti, and today is a great day to celebrate that. I don't think we're having spaghetti tonight, but we should if she's awake and listening. She's probably still asleep. I don't blame her. We have a pretty decent day, even though it is cold this morning. We're going to start to warm in low 50s by late morning. Some patchy fog possible through about 9. And then as we head into the afternoon, mostly clear skies, few clouds here and there. Much warmer today than where we have been. We're going to go mid-upper 60s across the area for our highs. Holding on to mostly clear skies as we go through the evening. And it's a slow cool down, and it doesn't go down by much. We're talking upper 40s, lower 50s for our lows tonight. And as we head into the next few days, increasing clouds on our Wednesday, still warmer though, low 70s, maybe a stray shower or two late in the evening. Unfortunately, most of us will remain dry, but there's good news later. Temperatures continue to warm. Great end of the week, great weekends. We go into the upper 70s, low 80s Monday, shower chances increasing. And even though we stay above normal next week, mid-upper 70s, we have increasing thunderstorm chances next week as well, which is great because we absolutely need that rainfall. That's a quick check of your forecast. We'll be back with more of the KOAM Morning News right after this.
Right now at 6, police in Webb City investigate a suspicious device found at a gas station.
We've got a downright cold start to the morning out there, even some frost advisories in place. We'll take a look at that forecast, get you out the door coming up.
Plus, gas prices around the 4 states continue to fall. We'll show you which state in our area has the lowest.
The 4 states' most watched news starts now.
Good morning, 4 states, and welcome to the KOAM Morning News. The time now is 6 a.m. I'm Caitlin O'Shaughnessy.
I'm Chris Warner. So you're talking about those low gas prices. I know some places, especially in the outlying areas of Joplin, gas is down to, the 280s.
Oh yeah, I filled up at like $2.94 this weekend.
And I distinctly recall my dad getting upset when gas reached like $1.15 a gallon, and yet we're celebrating the fact that it's come down into the $2.80 range.
It was in $7 at one point in Los Angeles.
I believe it. I believe it.
$3 I'm very happy with.
Incredible out there. Yeah, I mean, when we made it up to about $4 a gallon, we're cheering $3.40 a gallon, and boy, I feel like that's just not the way it's supposed to be, but unfortunately it's the way it is. And I know you'll have more on those gas prices and at least some good news about them.
And where to find them.
In our area for sure.
Yes.
I will tell you where you can find some of the coldest temperatures. They're out in southeast Kansas. We have some locations like Iola, Parsons, near freezing out there. So a very cold start to the morning. Quick look outside, MoDOT camera, 20th in range line in Joplin. You can't tell it's very cold, but I can tell you it's very cold. We have the frost advisories. As we mentioned, 4 different National Weather Service offices cover our area. So that's why there's 3 expiration times, because Springfield handles this area. So 10 a.m. for our 2 northern counties, the bulk of the ones in southeast Kansas through 9 a.m., and then Oklahoma, Arkansas, these run through 8 o'clock this morning. So a very chilly start. Quick look outside. Clear skies, though. 40 in Joplin, 37 in Pittsburgh. Kids getting on the bus. Some patchy fog possible out there. We're talking upper 30s at 7 a.m., but our winds, southwest 5 to 10. That's going to help usher in warmer temperatures. Mostly sunny skies later this afternoon as we go low to mid 60s. And as we get our morning started, that patchy fog, there's not a lot out there, but do watch out for it in some of the low-lying and rural areas. Will last through about 9 a.m. Temperatures cold, and they'll start to warm up. We're going to go low 50s by late morning ahead of a relatively pleasant day. We'll have another full look at your forecast here in a few more minutes. Caitlin?
Thanks, Chris. Well, police in Webb City have given an all-clear alert after investigating a suspicious device. The device was discovered yesterday morning at the Murphy USA gas station on South Madison. A portion of the parking lot was closed off by police, but other surrounding businesses remained open and were unaffected. Webb City Police requested aid from the bomb squad of the Springfield Fire Department, who determined that the device was not a threat. And anyone trying to file electronically with the Kansas court system recently found themselves unable to do so, and for good reason. The Kansas court's e-filing system has been offline since the judicial branch experienced a security incident late last week. The security incident affected several systems used daily by courts statewide, including the e-filing system attorneys use to file documents in cases, the case management systems district and appellate courts use to process cases, and others. Courts are open and operating, but clerks cannot receive electronic filings or electronic payments. All filings must be on paper or by fax. And the Cherokee Nation signs a historic agreement to provide a VA clinic inside the tribe's Veneta Health Center for area veterans. The tribe will provide around 1,300 square feet of leased space for the VA clinic, which is set to open around the new year. The VA clinic will serve both Native veterans and non-Native veterans in the region. It'll also include a waiting area, exam rooms, work areas, parking, and will work hand in hand with the Veneta Health Center to accomplish lab and x-ray services. The Eastern Oklahoma VA healthcare system serves about 53,000 veterans. The new VA clinic in Veneta will be one of 5 outpatient clinics operated by the VA. And to be the first to see breaking news, weather, and sports, download the KOAM News app. It's available free of charge in the Apple App Store and the Google Play Store. Just search for the KOAM News app. The city of Parsons, Kansas reports a mountain lion sighting over the weekend. The mountain lion was documented on a security video. The location was along the northwest edge of the town near Labette Creek. While this mountain lion is likely no longer in the city, residents should remain alert. If the mountain lion is spotted in town, residents should promptly contact the Parsons Police Department. Since 2007, mountain lions have been confirmed more than 60 times in Kansas. And fall can mean increased deer sightings in the 4 states, and that can mean an increase in deer collisions. Insurance experts say claims for collisions with deer rise during the fall, which is mating season. They also say there are simple ways to reduce your chances of deer collisions, such as slowing down, being aware and alert, not relying on deer whistles, and they are adamant that you brake instead of swerving. If you do hit an animal, move your car safely off the road and call the police or animal control. Damage from animal collisions is usually covered by auto insurance policies.
This is the time of year when drivers need to look out for deer crossing the road. This is the peak of the deer mating season. It's called the rut. So you have bucks chasing does. Also at this time of year, you have a lot of heavy feeding activity of deer. So you have a lot of deer movement. Peak time for movements are early in the morning around sunup and late in the afternoons around sundown. Those are the peak times.
Oklahoma leads the 4 states with the highest average chance of hitting a deer, followed by Kansas, Missouri, then Arkansas. And good news for drivers in the 4 states, gas prices look to be on their way down. The national average now sits at $3.60, a full 20 cents more than the highest 4-state average, which is Kansas at $3.41. Then Oklahoma comes in at $3.26, and Arkansas with the lowest at $3.18. Gas prices may be even lower in some counties. Crawford sits at $3.38, Ottawa County at $3.09, and Jasper County at $3 per gallon. And that's a look at this morning's top stories and weather in our first 7 minutes. Coming up on the KOAM Morning News. New details have been released about the suspect accused of shooting 3 people at the State Fair of Texas. Plus, why New York City announced a new policy that will limit the amount of time a migrant family can stay at a shelter. And Chris Warner returns with another look at your Tuesday forecast. You're watching the KOAM Morning News. We'll be right back. Topping Nation Watch this morning, in Dallas, new details have been released about the suspect accused of shooting 3 people at the State Fair of Texas. It happened over the weekend in a food court, and now fairgoers are wanting to know how a gun made it on fair grounds. Janelle Forte has the latest from security.
Moments before this video, fairgoers frantically running for cover after shots rang out at the State Fair of Texas Saturday night. Newly released court documents say the suspect, 22-year-old Cameron Turner, walked up to a concession stand in the main food court to buy a bottle of water. According to those reports, video from the fairground shows a group of men approaching Turner from a distance. When he goes to leave the stand, a man identified as Cade Kelly comes up to him. The two exchange some words, then Turner pulls out a gun, shooting Kelly, as well as bystanders Stephen Wright and Andrea Araul Silva, both telling police they didn't see who pulled the trigger. Turner took off running, but a short time later was apprehended. The report says once in custody, he told officers he felt threatened by Cade and went into survival mode.
And people just want to know, how would someone have gotten in with a gun that wasn't supposed to?
We still don't know.
Jeff Kottner is director of security for the fair.
I'm gonna get a little emotional. I'm sorry. Because it was very traumatic on Saturday night.
He says in the time since, they've revisited the fair's safety plans and made some subtle changes, like these new fences at the main entrance.
We moved like 2 extra officers from one spot to another spot, and we moved a police stand about 30 feet.
But are still allowing people to enter the fairgrounds with guns.
If you're carrying a concealed weapon, talk to this officer right here.
As long as they have a concealed carry permit, something some fairgoers now question.
I don't know, how did he get his gun in? Maybe someone brought it in for him.
The fair's team and police are working to answer that. Those going through security today say the checks were thorough.
They looked at my purse and they have the wands.
And while safety is at the forefront of many fairgoers' minds, the shooting not enough to spook folks from coming to the most Texas thing to do.
The State Fair of Texas runs until Sunday, October 22nd. And a climate advocacy group says it will launch an ad campaign to tout President Biden's climate and clean energy agenda. Organizers with the Climate Powers say that they plan to spend $80 million on the digital and television ad campaign leading up to the 2024 presidential election. A poll taken over the summer shows 70% of Americans knew little or nothing about the president's climate initiatives passed in the Inflation Reduction Act. But the same poll shows when informed, people support the plans. They include tax subsidies to help people buy electric vehicles, solar panels, and energy-efficient heating or cooling systems. On Monday, New York City announced a new policy that'll limit the amount of time that a migrant family can stay at a shelter. Families seeking asylum will now be required to leave those facilities after 60 days and will have to reapply for placement. The new rules take effect next week. 60-day notices will be given out to families who have been in the system the longest. This is the latest push to reduce resources to the more than 64,000 people who are currently in New York City's shelter system. Last month, New York City imposed a rule to require migrant adults to leave its shelter system after 30 days before they could reapply for shelter. Since last spring, more than 126,000 migrants have arrived in New York City. The city is expected to open a new shelter in the coming weeks in Brooklyn that would serve around 500 families with children. Joran Van Deer Sloot, the suspect in the 2005 disappearance of Alabama teen Natalie Holloway, is expected to plead guilty Wednesday to extorting and defrauding her mom. That's according to a family attorney. The specific federal charges he will plead guilty to and the sentence are unknown. Van Der Sloot is accused of getting $25,000 from Holloway's mom in exchange for the location of her remains, but he gave her fake information. Van Der Sloot is one of the last people seen with 18-year-old Holloway before she vanished in Aruba. In 2007, authorities in Aruba dropped charges against him and 2 other people citing insufficient evidence. Van Der Sloot was transferred to the U.S. from a prison in Peru in June. He was there serving a 28-year sentence for a 2012 murder. Under the agreement between Peru and the U.S., he will return to Peru to finish the murder sentence before being brought to the U.S. to serve whatever sentence he gets in the Holloway case. In Wisconsin, a father is facing charges in his 12-year-old son's death. The boy's decomposing body was found last week inside their Milwaukee home. As Brian McCrae reports, the father is still on the run.
As much as I used to observe them, like what was going on, like it was eerie and it didn't seem right at all.
Neighbors coming to terms with the shocking reality that steps away from their front doors, a child lost his life. According to a criminal complaint, 12-year-old Jakari Robinson was starved to death. The Milwaukee County District Attorney's Office charged Robinson's father, Amon Moy, Saturday. Moy, a father of 4, is facing 3 counts of child neglect and 1 count of failure to report the death of a child. According to the complaint, 3 of Moy's kids lived with him, but for the past 2 weeks, 2 of his children were with their mother, leaving Robinson alone with Moy. Families say they tried to see and talk with Moy during this period, but Moy appeared to be agitated and nervous. Moy would also stop people from visiting Robinson. When Moy's 21-year-old son called and texted him, Moy would not answer. On October 10th, he went to check on his dad and brother out of concern. Moy would not answer the door, so the man entered the family home. That's when he found the body of his decomposing brother on the living room floor under a blanket. The 12-year-old body was described to be in an advanced decomposition state. The complaint goes on to read that Robinson's father was known for being a harsh punisher. According to the medical examiner's office, Robinson's body was extremely malnourished and emaciated. The medical examiner also noted several fractures to the boy's arms and ribs. Neighbors in the community say when they saw Robinson, they were concerned about the way he looked.
It's like he had jogging pants on, a hoodie on, but like his jogging pants were kind of like swaying at his ankles. Like you could tell that he was super, super thin.
Police say Moy may face more charges. And that's a look at some of today's top national stories. Now here's Chris with a look at your forecast.
Yeah, we've got a relatively cold start out there for some of us across the region, even some frost advisories in place. Quick look outside, MoDOT camera 20th and range line looks good, clear skies, but it is cold for sure. And there's a look at those frost advisories, southeast Kansas, northeast Oklahoma, and into northwest Arkansas, each running through about 8, 9, and 10 o'clock in the morning respectively, because it is just downright cold out there. We're going to have another full look at your forecast here in a few more minutes on the KOAM Morning News.
An unusual candidate is running for mayor of Anchorage. His campaign manager says he has the right disposition for the job, and he's a good boy. David Allgood introduces us to Miko, the Alaskan Malamute mix.
Richard Ziggy Ziegler is a fixture here in downtown Anchorage where he lives and creates.
Now this is a little bit of what I do back here. All these murals that you see back in here.
But it's his latest endeavor.
Oh, I love my candidate because I know he loves me.
Well, that's important in any relationship. So, campaign manager for a mayor wannabe?
Politics has become kind of a dog-eat-dog kind of thing, and
maybe not a bad idea.
No, maybe it's a good idea.
When he goes up and down the street, everybody wants to take pictures of him. Yeah, you can get a picture of him.
So you're behind the scenes?
I'm behind the scenes, yeah,
well,
like
good.
the campaign manager.
Good. Is it? So is your candidate likable?
Oh, he's lovable.
This mayor candidate sounds like a good boy.
He's very hairy and has a great disposition.
It's amazing.
Like I said, he loves to hug.
It's amazing.
And he loves to give kisses.
We need more hugs. Meet Miko, the Malamute mixed canine candidate for mayor of Anchorage.
Oh man, I was like, man, he's a little cutie. I like him. He's super fluffy. Just made me want to run up and just pick him up.
Aww.
Beautiful dog.
Yep.
I've never seen nothing like it before. So
I figured, well, why not run a dog for mayor and for office? Might change things, how people feel.
Just look at this pooch politician with dreamy blue eyes that say, can't we all just get along?
who can say no to a fluffy dog? I mean, that kind of like both sides got to come together and pet him.
Are you running on your stunning good looks?
Are you running on your stunning good looks? Is that it?
There you go.
Okay.
My dog's running for mayor. I'm his campaign manager.
Miko for mayor!
And Roger here got a kick out of Miko and thinks today's politicians are full of...
Politicians do what the dogs usually do in their backyard.
Poop emoji.
I would say yes.
So in a town where dogs and the Iditarod rule, Miko might just be the right write-in candidate for right now.
He's got my vote.
And I'm supposed to be impartial, but he's so huggable.
He's got my vote now.
As perfect as Miko seems, even he's got his price.
You can't influence him. I hate to say that. A treat will always get him to respond to you. Wait. Okay.
Even the ones with paws have flaws. Well, these two will always be political allies, and that's...
Yes, a good boy. Yes, you are.
The All Good News.
Well, Miko sure has my vote. Such a cutie. We'll stick around because we have Chris now with a quick look at your forecast.
Yeah, we still have those frost advisories again for parts of southeast Kansas, northeast Oklahoma, and Benton County and Arkansas. We'll have another look at your forecast when we come back. Welcome back to the KOAM Morning News on this Tuesday morning. It is now 6:24. We're taking a live look outside. MoDOT camera 20th and range line. Clear skies, but definitely on the cold side. Same from the KDOT camera 69 East 520th Avenue, of course, just south of Pittsburgh. And this is what we're talking about. Frost advisories out there. So a quick reminder about these times. 4 different National Weather Service offices cover our viewing area. And Springfield covers this chunk that does not have a frost advisory. But our 2 northern counties, these run till 10 10. The bulk of the ones in southeast Kansas through 9. And then northeast Oklahoma, northwest Arkansas, those ones run through 8 this morning because it is downright cold out there. We're sitting at 40 in Joplin with a calm breeze. Otherwise, not too bad, just cold, clear skies. But take a look at some of these temperatures, especially out to our west. 33 Parsons, Neodesha, and Iola, so very cold. 36 Pittsburgh, 38 Chanute, 35 Yates Center, Sedan, 38 Miami, 39 Grove, Veneta, 37 Neosho, 39 Carthage, and 37 in Lamar. So not very warm out there at all. Now the good news is we're going to have more sunshine again today, but this time the sunshine is going to make a bit of a difference. Do have some patchy fog out there. Nothing wild on the fog tracker right now, but do watch out in some of the rural and low-lying areas, and that could persist through about 9 a.m. Then we're going to start to go mostly clear, low 50s by late morning, and once that sun really gets going, temperatures warm nicely. Mostly clear skies, a few clouds here and there possible. Highs into the mid to upper 60s across the area, and of course further west could reach low 70s. We're going to hold on to mostly clear skies through the evening. It's a slow cool down, and then it just kind of halts. We're talking upper 40s, low 50s for our overnight lows, and that also means we're going to be warm tomorrow. Low 70s all the way through Saturday. We do have that chance of a stray shower or two Wednesday. By the way, we'll have increasing clouds throughout the day, so we'll gradually go mostly cloudy. Most of us will remain dry, but worry not, more rain chances down the road. Great heading into the weekend, and look at that, near 80 on Sunday, low 80s on Monday. And then our shower and thunderstorm chances increase, and they will stick around for most of next week. So more much needed rain in our forecast, and temperatures at a level that at least I'm comfortable with, although they are a bit unseasonable as we go back into the mid to upper 70s. That's a quick check of your forecast. Now here's Caitlin with Health Watch.
Thanks, Chris. Well, a new study at the Mayo Clinic in Rochester finds some children are less likely to see nose and throat specialists. Asian, Hispanic, and Black children are less likely to see an ear, nose, and throat specialist to receive ear tubes for recurring ear infections. Researchers say the reasons include language barriers, trust issues, and transportation problems. And women are nearly 50% more likely to develop depression than men after suffering a concussion or other traumatic brain injury, according to a new research in San Francisco. Doctors are not sure why women are more susceptible, but say they should be aware of the risk of developing depression after a brain injury, even if they have no prior history of mental health challenges. And a study in Canada finds people without housing accounted for a disproportionately large number of opioid-related deaths. Researchers say lack of housing can influence substance use, raising the risk of people turning to illegal and dangerous street drugs. Homeless individuals who died from opioids were often younger and lived in an urban area. A Florida grandmother is facing charges in the death of her 11-month-old grandson. He died last year. Investigators say they found baby bottles in the grandmother's home that contained a powerful antihistamine. Ian Margall has details.
This is an extremely sad and heartbreaking case. It involves the death of an 11-month-old baby boy.
After a year of investigations, the Broward Sheriff's Office arrested 53-year-old Tabina Lusant on Friday and charged her with aggravated manslaughter of her own grandson.
In August of 2022, the family of Josiah Finellis, an 11-month-old child, left him in the care of his paternal grandmother, Tabina Lusant, at her home in Oakland Park.
Apparently, during that visit to his grandmother's home, the boy became unresponsive, so 911 was called and paramedics rushed him to the hospital, but he didn't survive. Months later, the medical examiner's office determined he died from a toxic dose of cyproheptadine, a powerful antihistamine that is only available with a doctor's prescription, but is also sold as an appetite supplement. And during their investigation, detectives found 2 baby bottles in Lusant's home that both tested positive for the drug.
Josiah was in his grandmother's care, and Tabina Lusant, the grandmother, told BSO homicide detectives that while he was in her care, she was the individual who made his bottles.
In court over the weekend, 2 of Lusant's sons joined her attorney in asking the judge to give her a bond, saying she's the bedrock of their family.
She is a mother. She is a grandmother. She has 6 children, 15 grandchildren.
Louison is currently free after her family posted a $50,000 bond. If convicted, Louison could spend the rest of her life in prison. That's a look at some of today's top health stories. We'll be right back. Right now at 6:30, Carthage School District offers a new package to entice bus drivers. But do the pros outweigh the cons?
Plus, we've got a pretty cold start out there, hence the going on in here. It's a little too cold for me. We'll take a look at your forecast, get you out the door, and have the latest on those frost advisories coming up.
Plus, trucks of all shapes and sizes rolled into Carthage Square as part of the Maple Leaf Festival.
The 4 states' most watched news starts now.
Good morning, 4 states, and welcome to the KOAM Morning News. The time now is 6:32 a.m. I'm Caitlin O'Shaughnessy.
I'm Chris Warner. So for those of you who may not be aware, if you do it just right and jump and skip to your side,
yes,
and you hit your foot right.
Oh, I broke my toe last week on that box. Yeah, it's a very dangerous thing.
It is, but you can sound like a horse.
That's true.
You can gallop like a horse, and you have set up something relatively special for us here in a few more minutes.
Very excited about this. I am an avid music lover, and we have a local boy here from Parsons, Kansas, who's made it big in Nashville. Cody Howell is in studio, and he'll be performing his latest single. So stay tuned. That'll be coming up right after this.
Very much looking forward to that. We also have cold weather. That's all I really need to say. It's cold. Don't go outside. Stay inside. Watch Cody Howell. Watch the KOAM Morning News. Don't mess around in this stuff because, as we learned yesterday, by the way, strep throat starting to go around the schools. More reason to just stay indoors and stay out of the cold because I don't like any of this stuff. I'm serious. In the summertime, do you have to scrape the heat off your car? No, you don't. Do you have to turn on your car, run the AC to clear the windows? No, you don't. Do you have to stand out in the burning heat and shovel your driveway of all that heat that's built up? No, you don't. The heat may not be fun, but there's a lot less work involved with the heat. The cold stuff, too much work is involved. All right, let's get to that forecast because this is a whole nother story for a whole nother day. Mostly clear skies out there, frost advisories. So we've got northeast Oklahoma, Arkansas through 8, most of southeast Kansas through 9, and then our 2 northern counties up here, including Burlington, these run until 10 a.m. because it is just downright cold outside. Quick look outside, sitting at 40 in Joplin, clear skies in Pittsburgh, 37 degrees out there. So again, very chilly. We've got temperatures near freezing in parts of southeast Kansas. Parsons, Iola, Chanute, for example, cold. Kids getting on the bus. There is some patchy fog. It's very limited, but in the rural and low-lying areas, watch out for some of that. Otherwise, upper 30s when the kids get on the bus, but the important part here is that southwest wind, ushering in warmer temperatures, which I like. I like the warmer weather. Low to mid-60s by the time the bus brings them home. Sunny skies. Fog clears out by about 9. Temperature still cold. Low 50s by late morning and mostly sunny skies. Again, it is warmer today. It will be warmer as we head into next week, and we've got additional rain chances on the way. And we'll look at all that in your full forecast from the nice warm KOAM studios here in just a few more minutes.
All right, well, the Carthage School District held a Board of Education meeting last night at the Columbian Elementary School. The school district has been working on new benefits and salary packages for bus transportation. The goals of the new packages would be to increase trip pay, offer medical benefits and retirement benefits, with hopes to provide a more fiscally stable financial plan. But this change would also increase the hours of the drivers, which is causing a stir among bus drivers in the school district.
On the transportation side, we're going to be talking about new salary schedules, one that possibly offers benefits. We want to get that, really there's 2 phases of that. One would be for our brand new recruits that we'd bring into the program. The other side is trying to figure out how can we adjust our current salary schedule to accommodate our current drivers, the salary schedule we're on, and what a future salary schedule might look like that includes benefits.
The new rules are drastically going to affect every bus driver. We're all going to take a pay cut. It's easy math. You don't have to go to school for that math.
The school board will review the item and vote at the next school board meeting. A unique volunteer opportunity that both honors the past and the future. Caretaker Jim Beeler says he doesn't want the history to become forgotten history. Preservation is exactly why Peace Church Cemetery is inviting the community to take a tour and listen to the stories behind the headstones.
We've had ladies come out here. Matter of fact, one of our board members, she was 85 years old. She just passed away recently, and she was out here every 2 weeks doing something here at the cemetery. This was one of her best things, Doris Berryhill.
The Peace Church Cemetery historic tours will be held this Saturday at 10 a.m. and 2 p.m. And the Carthage Square yesterday was full of big rigs. It's all part of the Maple Leaf Festival. Folks had the chance to get up close to the trucks and equipment vehicles and climb inside. Officials say it's a way for the community to learn more about these trucks, which are vital to our economy.
Inaugural Maple Leaf Festival Touch a Truck event. We are so excited to have so many families and kids out here really getting an up close and personal look at service trucks and semis, the horns honking. It's so much fun and a great way for kids to just enjoy the evening because it's so beautiful out.
Maple Leaf Festival will run through Saturday with events including a carnival, parade, and tractor show. Parents in Pittsburgh have a fun place for their kiddos to go when school is out. Camp Now and Then opens its doors for the Pittsburgh community anytime Pittsburgh USD 250 is out during the school season. For parents, the camp provides a safe and fun alternative to hanging around the house with opportunities to play games, create crafts, and make new friends.
It's vital. I can remember as a parent when school was out, you had to have a place for kids to go. And this is nice because we are licensed by the Kansas Department of Health and Environment, so we follow all the regulations. We have a good staff-to-kid ratio. Not only do we keep them physically active, as you can see behind me, we do a lot of educational activities too, so they're learning and having fun at the same time.
Camp Now and Then is open from 7:30 a.m. to 5:30 p.m. and is located at Lincoln Center, 710 West 9th Street. That's a look at our top news stories. Coming up this half hour on the KOAM Morning News, we have Cody Howell here live in studio to perform his latest single.
And we've got a cold start out there across the area, but temperatures warming up over the next several days. In fact, going above average. We'll take a look at that forecast here in a few more minutes when the KOAM Morning News returns.
Joining us now live in studio is Cody Howell with his new song, Any Way You Go.
You could go with girls, you could go with me, you could go with the good old boys. It don't much matter, it's all good company. You could go in your boots, you could go in your jeans, you could go in your yellow sundress. Either way, you're a gorgeous gal to me. But anywhere you go, we're all going to the same old place, to a bonfire Friday night, throwing down our tailgates. Anywhere you go, it's all gonna be the same old thing. We can drink and pimp to the end. Anywhere you go, well, you could go with the flow, you could go against the grain, you could cut your own dang path, just as long as you stay in your own lane. But anywhere you go, we're all going to the same old place, to a bonfire Friday night, throwing down our tailgates. Anywhere you go, it's all gonna be the same old thing. We can drink and pimp to the AM. Anywhere you go. go with the curs or the bush, the mallard or the white claw, the jack or the gem, just to get your blood a-flowing. When your get-up's done, a gone up and win. Well, it'll get you where your good time's gone. 'Cause anywhere you go, we're all going to the same old place, to a bonfire Friday night, throwing down our tailgates. Anywhere you go, it's all gonna be the same old thing. We can drink and pimp to the end, anywhere you go.
Time now for some Monday birthday. This is Tuesday.
Come on, Chris.
We don't want to go back in time.
On a Tuesday.
Birthdays. Samuel King over in Columbus celebrating number 10. A very happy birthday to you, Samuel.
And happy 17th birthday to Lillian Hamilton.
Great throwback picture there. And we've got Ethan Henry over in Chanute celebrating birthday number 20. He's a senior at Allen County Community College. Member of the American Legion Post 170 Honor Guard as well. Happy birthday, Ethan.
Right. And over in Thayer, Kansas, happy 32nd birthday to Taylor Dyke. Says here, we love you very much. Love Mom and Paul.
And in Thayer, Brett Thornton celebrating birthday number 33. Happy birthday, Brett.
And happy 47th birthday to Kevin Yarnell over in Erie, Kansas.
And Dennis Bishop in Chanute celebrating. Hold up. We missed poor Dennis. Dennis, we're so...
Sharon Birch.
So this is Sharon Birch celebrating another year wiser in Columbus. Now, happy birthday, Sharon. Very happy birthday. And we've got a great throwback picture for Dennis Bishop. That's him from a long time ago, celebrating birthday number 56. Just got him a little back. It's almost like Monday. See, I said Monday, and that's
You've been throwing it
get
off.
a Monday.
All right, taking it over now to Columbus, Kansas, and happy birthday to Sharon.
We just did Sharon.
Wait. All right. Well, then you know what? What's the point of having a script? I'll just read it off here.
Pat
Olson, happy 88th birthday. We hope you have the best day ever.
We certainly, my God,
what's
happened?
next? Anything? It's all surprises at this point.
What happened? No, it's my fault. I started this whole thing by saying, it's Monday, and then it turned into Monday within seconds. Don't curse your day. Well, we want to wish everybody on our list a very happy birthday and send our deepest apologies to everyone, too, there at the end where, boy, I just messed everything up there, didn't I? Caitlin?
You sure
Oh,
did.
my. Where can people send their birthdays to?
To send your birthdays and have them read properly out loud on the morning news here at KOAM, simply submit to birthdays@KOAMnewsnow.com.
All right, now let's see if we can do this forecast the right way. This thing shouldn't fail me. MoDOT camera 20th and range line in Joplin, clear skies. It is cold though. Same over in Kansas. KDOT camera 69 East 520th Avenue just south of Pittsburgh. Traffic moving right along, but I guarantee you all these folks have their heat on because it is chilly and we have frost advisories out there. Northeast Oklahoma, Benton County, Arkansas run through 8. The bulk of southeast Kansas, these run through 9. And then our 2 northern counties in southeast Kansas, they run until 10 a.m. So it is quite cold. We're going to show you just how cold it is out there in just a moment here. Our camera 7th and range line is now in stop motion animation form. Pretty unique view. 40 degrees in Joplin, calm breeze and clear skies overhead as traffic stutters a lot. Maybe it's just the cold and people's cars are malfunctioning. I'm not sure. But look at this. 33 Parsons, Neodesha at freezing now in Iola out there. 35 Yates Center, 36 Pittsburgh, 38 Miami, 37 Neosho, 39 Carthage. The warmer spots, Joplin, Cassville, Bentonville, all sitting at 40 degrees if you count that as warm. We get our morning started. Some patchy fog out there, not much, but some, and that'll start to burn off by 9, and we're going to have mostly clear skies, low 50s by late morning. We're going to have another look at your forecast, including the 7-day and those warmer temperatures and the news you need to know here in just a moment. And when we make the switch over to Fox 14 at 7 a.m., there are more than 1,000 people in South Carolina waiting for a kidney. But because of selflessness, a man in Mount Pleasant won't be joining that statistic.
Today's top headlines, the news you need to know before you head out the door. The device was discovered yesterday morning at the Murphy USA gas station on South Madison. A portion of the parking lot was closed off by police, but other surrounding businesses remained open and were unaffected. Webb City Police requested aid from the bomb squad of Springfield Fire Department, who determined that the device was not a threat. The Carthage School District held a Board of Education meeting last night at the Columbian Elementary School. The school district has been working on new benefits and salary packages for bus transportation. The goals of the new packages would be to increase trip pay, offer medical benefits and retirement benefits with hopes to provide a much more fiscally stable financial plan. But this change would also increase the hours of the drivers, which is causing a stir among bus drivers in the school district. And anyone trying to file electronically with the Kansas court system recently found themselves unable to do so. The Kansas court's e-filing system has been offline since the judicial branch experienced a security incident late last week. The security incident affected several systems used daily by courts statewide, and they are hoping to have it resolved here later. Courts are open and operating, but the clerks cannot receive electronic filings or electronic payments. All filings must be on paper or by fax. That's a check of today's top headlines, the news you need to know before you head out the door.
Now we've got a cold start for us out there, but don't worry, it'll warm up. Mostly sunny skies, a few clouds here and there, highs in the mid to upper 60s across the area. Mostly clear skies hang on through the evening, and it is not a very big cool down. We'll go upper 40s, lower 50s. As we look ahead, temperatures climb into the low, even upper 70s to near 80 degrees as we head into next week. We've got additional shower and thunderstorm chances next week as well, mid 70s, and tomorrow a stray shower or two possible in the evening. Most of us remaining dry. Again, our best rain chances will come during the next work week.
All right, well, coming up today at noon, we're making easy cheesy cottage pie in the Mr. Food Test Kitchen.
And your morning news continues on KOAM with CBS Mornings. President Biden is planning to visit Israel on Wednesday. Next on CBS Mornings, Senate Majority Leader Schumer discusses his own visit to the region and how he plans to lead the Senate on providing aid to Israel.
Or you can switch on over with us on Fox 14, where your only local morning news continues. This morning, we have Cody Howell back with us in studio to talk about his amazing music career.
And we're going to see how firefighters get special training for when dealing with bad wrecks. But that's going to wrap it up for us for now. See you back here tomorrow morning at 5 a.m.
And we'll see you today at noon. Now here's Cody Howell. Take it away.
Anywhere you go, we're all going to the same old place, to a bonfire Friday night, throwing down our tailgates. Anywhere you go, it's all gonna be the same old thing. We can drink and pimp to